Welcome, everybody, to another show. Before we dig into this, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. But I just want to talk about DeAndre Hopkins. All offseason, the talk was when he got traded to the Arizona Cardinals that there was not going to be enough targets to go around. Like, he was not going to be able to be targeted enough to fuel his usual fantasy production. Like, the volume's not going to be there. Christian Kirk is going to be stealing targets. We have Larry Fitzgerald there. They got a heavy run game. They run the ball a lot. There's just not going to be enough for DeAndre Hopkins to produce the elite level results. Then we go to week 1, and what do we see? DeAndre Hopkins leading the National Football League with a 43% target share. I targeted 16 times, got 14 of those 16 targets for 151 yards. On top of that, he had 103 air yards and owned 54% of Arizona's air yards. So what does this mean? It means that it's the same face, different place. DeAndre Hopkins is still a target magnet, even though he's in Arizona. And looking back at this thought that everyone had, except for me, I didn't think this, of course not, about DeAndre Hopkins is, think about it, we have old Larry Fitzgerald over there. Christian Kirk, he's very good in his own right. Kind of got locked down in that bad matchup. But DeAndre Hopkins is almost matchup proof. He's so good. So he got most of those targets, or pretty much all of them, for just to be on the real there. But DeAndre Hopkins is good. Elite level talents get targets. Elite level talents get the air yards. They get the volume. Depending if that's good volume, bad volume, if that quarterback's missing them with bad passes, that's a different story. However, Kyler Murray, we've all agreed that Kyler Murray's at least a decent quarterback, if not a good quarterback. And he showed those flashes last year. And the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is here for him to marinate his skill sets with is nothing but good for Murray. I envision this right now of Kyler Murray in training camp, or whenever he was able to work with Hopkins, just stepping back and passing it, throwing a few passes, and Hopkins is reeling those in. And he's like, ooh, this is hitting different. Ooh, this is different. And Murray loving it. Therefore, week 1, you see Murray not being afraid to hit up his new toy, his new wide receiver. Think about it this way, too. Usually, when a wide receiver switches teams, there's kind of a lull in production. Like, there's time that wide receiver and quarterback needs to build a rapport. We didn't have that week 1. One of the reasons why is DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's one of the best wide receivers, maybe of all time. We're going to have those discussions here in the next couple years if he continues to produce, especially if he's continuing to produce with a different team. Think about all those bad quarterbacks he worked with before Deshaun Watson. Think about the bad quarterbacks he played with during those times. He had out of like the last, 6 years, he had 5 1,000-yard seasons, and that one season he just missed by a little bit. He's a good wide receiver. He's been a consistent wide receiver 1 for a long while now, and I don't see it changing. I see him continuously being a wide receiver 1 for Arizona, and this is a perfect match for Kyler Murray. This is going to allow Kyler Murray to elevate what he's been doing in the passing game, get better, develop his skill set, and this is going to be good. This is going to be good for Kirk too. Christian Kirk in the slot, running routes. You can't. It's going to be better. He's a good player. He's going to do better than what he did in week 1 once he gets some better matchups. He's going to get a trickle-down effect of higher or better targets in general. He's going to not be locked down by the top quarterback as much. Richard Sherman was on him a lot last week. This in the next few weeks, that's not going to be as much of an issue. And he'll be working from the slot, getting those easy short to intermediate passes. If you're looking for a buy in Dynasty, maybe even redraft, Christian Kirk's your guy. Another reason why I like DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, I like a lot of Cardinals. Chase Edmonds, Kenyon Drake to a certain degree, obviously Kyler Murray, this is a high, fast-paced offense, the air raid offense. It's technically like a 50-50 split though, but they'll go full air raid if they need to, but they run a lot of plays. There's a lot of volume in this offense. They move the ball quickly. They're always top 3, top 5 in play rate and neutral game script each and every week almost, unless things go really haywire. And it's just something that you got to account for. More plays ran equals more opportunity for fantasy points. Quite the obvious statement to make, but a thing most people forget about. And if you look at that, and then you look at a matchup the Cardinals are in, that could propose a high-scoring situation for both teams or the Cardinals, then you're seeing a lot of upside being hit in that weekly matchup. So with the Cardinals, you really want to pay attention to those Vegas odds, the spread, the over-unders, and all that. That plays into DeAndre Hopkins' value. Even if his target share drops to 25%, the extra volume could even push up his normal range of targets still where he was at in Houston. Just because of that. And if they're able to continuously move the ball downfield, then you're going to see an increase in touchdowns. You're going to see more targets. And that is more likely to happen with Hopkins on the field than not. He is a very important piece to the Cardinals offense, and he's going to be an important piece to the Cardinals offense going forward. He's going to be an important piece to Murray's development. Those two already have a relationship together. Those two are already building rapport, and it's only going to get better and stronger. And this team is just going to get better throughout the weeks of the season and going into next year and after that. DeAndre Hopkins, hella pickup for the Cardinals this offseason. Hella move. He is a wide receiver 1, and he may be the wide receiver 1 if he continues to get this volume, continues to get 16 targets. I don't see that every week, which is impossible, but he can flirt with 10 every week. Easy. I can see that, especially in these games where they're going to be in shootouts, and their defense is locked down. They're going to be in those predicaments more often than not. And Murray has never had a wide receiver like Hopkins before. Maybe you can say CeeDee Lamb. Maybe. But we don't know yet. DeAndre Hopkins, though, is on a different level, a different world compared to most wide receivers in the NFL. Fantasy analysts messed up when they thought his target share was going to dip down lower 20% range or even below, because good players get targets, good wide receivers command targets. It just depends on what happens when the ball's in the air. But they're always going to command that volume. Those elite level receivers are going to attract volume. Because if I'm a quarterback, I'm dropping back, and I know I got that stud wide receiver to the left of me or right of me or wherever to bail me out, I'm going to chuck it up there every time. If it's one of those wide receivers, they're open no matter what, no matter how covered they are. That's a guy you're going to chuck those targets to when you're under duress. You don't know where to go. You're looking his way first, even if he's your third read, because that's what you're going to do. Common sense sometimes, guys. Common sense. Look at the talent difference. Christian Kirk, who's a good wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins. Larry Fitzgerald at, 37, 38? Okay. DeAndre Hopkins. Who are you going to throw the ball to when you're dropping back? I get it. Plays are scripted. You have your read set out. But when you're under fire and you have that favorite target, you're going to sling it that way. good wide receivers, elite level wide receivers. Let me rephrase it. Elite level wide receivers, no matter where they're going to get the targets. They're going to get the air yards no matter where they go. That's why they're elite level. DeAndre Hopkins has a history of playing with bad quarterbacks, getting into targets, making things happen, producing the fantasy points. And then he gets paired with Kyler Murray, and we're expecting a setback. What kind of thinking was this? What kind of thinking was this? We need to roll back the tape, reevaluate our process, because good wide receivers, elite level talents, they get their targets. And that's all I got to say. Well, thank you for watching this video, watching this show. Make sure you hit subscribe on the way out. Ring that bell. I'll be back with you with another episode here in a few days. If you have anything you want me to hit on or cover, leave it in the comments. I'll try to help my audience grow. And then make sure you share this on Twitter when you see this out. Follow me on Twitter too, @MetricScout. Anywhere, social media, if you want to look me up, look it up @MetricScout. That's how you're going to find me. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you